If you're just starting your agency, then this video is for you. If you're stuck at 0 clients or you've only got 1 or 2 clients, then make sure you stay tuned throughout this whole video because I'm going to compile a lot of what I've learned through building multiple successful agencies and having over 10 years of experience in this game. Now, throughout this video, I'm going to give you the exact direction that I would take to fast track my first client if I was starting a brand new agency tomorrow. But before I do that, be sure to check out our school community. We have over 750 members inside, and we also have a 1-hour free course that's going to show you exactly the methods that you could use to get a client. I'll put the link in the description so that you guys can click that and check that out. I'm now going to switch over to the whiteboard so we can really break down every step that I would take if I was starting again tomorrow. So guys, before we jump into the step-by-step that I would take when first launching an agency tomorrow, let's look at where most people go wrong. They won't take action. And the reason why I know this is I speak to hundreds of agency owners that are just starting out on a daily basis. And honestly, they focus their time on service delivery, even though they have 0 clients. Now, the problem with this, guys, is yes, it's great to learn service delivery, but if you have 0 clients, you don't really have much of an agency. You need the working capital to be able to scale and be able to pay yourselves. So the difference between me and someone else that is just starting out is I would be focusing solely on outbound. Now, the reason why I say outbound and not inbound acquisition is because when you're first starting out, you don't have the capital. A little bit different if I was to start now because I do have the money to invest. However, I'm assuming that most of you guys watching this video do not have much money and you're not going to have an inbound system. So let's look at the outbound system. But before I do that, I want to just say one thing. Outbound is always going to be harder than inbound. However, this is going to be able to expand on your skills and experience because you are going to be working on cold approaches with prospects that you're finding from Google or a CRM or Apollo or any type of data scraper. And you're essentially going to have to take that name off the sheet and get them to put money in your pocket. So it's actually better to learn outbound first and gain those skills, gain that experience, understand how to do an outreach process, understand how to do the sales process, and then onboard your first few clients. Once you've got the money, you can start looking at an inbound system. So let's jump straight into what I would do. First things first, I'm gonna need a name. So I would quickly pick a name for the agency. Now, the reason why I'm even including this in the video is I see so many people put marketing at the end of their name or digital or something like that. You do not want to do that, okay? The reason why, when you are cold outreaching, when you're prospecting, when you're on cold calls, they're going to see this name and they're going to immediately try and spin your call, especially if they're a gatekeeper. What I mean by that is they're going to think you're just another marketing agency selling them some BS software or service. So what we want to do is ignore this and keep our name simple, okay? So that would be the first thing. I pick a name, takes 2 seconds. I would then create a logo, would take 2 seconds, okay? Logo and branding. We have Canva, okay? Canva, there is a free trial. We can get Canva to do our work for us. The logo just needs to be simplistic. Don't make it jazzy. Do not outsource this. Honestly, the logos for all of my businesses aren't even that great. Have a look at Client Capital, guys. It is just something that you whip out, okay? That's fine. Don't worry about that too much. When you have more money, you can put more money into your logo if that's what takes your fancy. Then I would create a business plan. Now, this business plan would be no longer than 1 page. Now, the reason why I would do this is solely for my own direction. This is not because I need a business plan that I'm going to show to investors in the future or anything like this. I want direction. And in my business plan, I'm going to include KPIs, okay? Key performance indicators. These are targets, right? I'm going to include what I need to do in terms of direction. Now, what I mean by that is outreach channels. What outreach channels am I going to look at that's going to effectively allow me to scale in the right direction, okay? And then I'm also going to include things like my passwords, my email setup, any SOPs that I need. This isn't going to take me longer than an hour, right? This is a quick process. So far, we're on about an hour and 10 minutes worth of work. And already, we've got name, logo, branding. Now, a lot of you guys will then straight go onto a website. I'm going to say, don't build a website, okay? So, and the reason why I say that is for your first client, you definitely don't need a website. You can always get one in the future. If you do want to look at a website, go on something like Go High Level or Card. Then, what I would do is I would start to work out my offer. Now, when I'm working out my offer, I would work out who my ICP is, Ideal Customer Profile. Now, my offer, I want it to be a revenue generating offer, okay? We are in an economic downturn. We want to be able to offer something of specific value to businesses. So revenue generation is key in my offer. So most likely going to go with something like Facebook ads, okay? Nice low barrier to entry. I wouldn't go for anything too complex if I don't have the experience. That's a good heads up for you guys. So don't go for things like SEO because it's a lot harder to learn. Just learn Facebook ads. Takes 2 minutes, right? Well, a bit longer than 2 minutes, 2 hours, let's say, right? So I've got the offer. I've understood who my ICP is. Then I want to look at the different niche that I'm going to pick. Apologies. Different niche that I'm going to pick. So when it comes to the niche, guys, I would be looking at relatively mid-ticket niche if I was just starting out. We don't want to look at things like really low ticket niches like restaurants or anything like this. We want to look at niches that are going to be able to give a mid-ticket service. So I'd probably go for something like solar, right? Nice and easy. Now I would niche down, and if you haven't watched my video about niching down and the top 5 niches, I suggest that you do it. But I'd probably look at something like air source heat pump, okay? That means already I'm niching down. I look like I am a good subject matter expert in the industry. Then I would learn this, because if I had no experience or knowledge in solar or air source heat pump, I would be going to market and learning. So far, we've done all of this, and this is going to take about 3 hours of your time, maximum, okay? This isn't going to take long. Already, you've got the basics of an agency. Then, I'd create a LinkedIn page, because this is going to be your social media presence. So, I create a LinkedIn page, and I would use ChatGPT to create the About Me, or the About Us, let's say, and some posts as well, okay? I would do some visual posts, and I'll do some non-visual posts. Visual posts are more eye-catching, non-visual posts are great for SEO, right? So, simple as that. Already we've got some social presence online. Fantastic. Then, what I would do is I would scrape some data. Now, if you don't know how to scrape some data, I actually show you in the free course in Client Capital, so be sure to check that out. I did put the link in the description. But I would scrape some data. So in this instance, I'd look at solar companies, air source heat pump, so plumbing and heating engineers, and I would scrape some data based on that. I would then segment this data. And the reason I would segment the data is I would want to make sure that that data aligns with my ideal customer profile here. So if I know that this segmented data aligns with my ideal customer profile and my target avatar, then at least I'm targeting the right business owners for my service. Then I would go straight to market. So I would be doing outreach. Now, I'm running out of space, but let me go into it. Outreach. The first thing I would be doing is cold calling like crazy. Now, notice how I didn't generate a script in my business plan for cold calling. I want you guys to try cold calling without a script. That is how you're going to get better at cold calling. If you do need a script, there are so many online. There's ChatGPT will even make you one. But I would suggest that you dash it out the window after you've done about 50 calls. So cold calling first. Then I would do some LinkedIn prospecting as well, 100%. And then I would create some social pages like Facebook, X, Instagram. And I would be DMing on Facebook, X, Instagram. And then, and this is outside of core hours, guys, make sure you're not doing this in hours where you can cold call. Cold call is going to be great. I would then look at doing some email marketing. and then some voicemail drops. And that's enough for you guys that are just starting out, okay? So, just to summarize, to begin with, we create a name. We wouldn't have marketing or digital. We need it simple. We then create some logo and branding, nice and easy, Canva, free trial, business plan, one-page business plan. We'd look at KPIs, direction, all the passwords, because I suck at remembering my passwords right, email setup, and SOPs, okay? This is nice and easy. Website, I would completely ignore that if I was starting again tomorrow for the first client or second client to get some revenue in the door. I'd build an offer, I'd look at my ICP, I'd pick a niche. I've picked a niche here for you guys, solar, air source heat pump, and I would learn that niche, okay? Again, do this when you're just about to go to bed. Do not do this when you could be making money. Then revenue generating service, so Facebook ads, nice and easy, low barrier to entry, something that you all can learn. And it's easy to manage and outsource. Then I'd create a LinkedIn page, ChatGPT, okay? About us and posts. Let's get some presence on there. Top tip with LinkedIn, I will do some videos on this, but you can schedule out posts. So you can spend one afternoon on a Sunday when you can't cold call and just blast out 50 posts ready for the future. Then I'd scrape some data and I would segment that data based on my ideal customer profile. I would then go straight to outreach, cold calling, LinkedIn prospecting. I would do social media, and I would also do email marketing and voicemail drops. That is a summary as to how I would start to get some calls in the diary. Then we've got to look at the sales process. So at this point, guys, we've started to blast outreach and we're looking at the sales process. The first thing that I would do is integrate a two-step sales process. So that would be a discovery and then a demo. Now, the reason why I'm doing the discovery and then a demo is I want to identify the pain points and present a viable solution in the demo. This is going to allow me to match problem with solution. This is 101 business that is going to allow you to be able to win more clients. Now, at this point, if you are a brand new agency and you've followed every step that I've taken, you probably don't even have a demo presentation. So the minute you book in the discovery, it's time to put 2 hours of work into building a demo presentation, okay? This doesn't take long. You can improve this outside of core hours every single day. It doesn't matter, right? Whip up a demo presentation and get it to market. At this point, once you've done a demo and you're finally starting to get some traction, then what we need to do is close that client with confidence. Once you've closed that client, we need to look at customer success and retention. However, I don't want to skip any steps. So once you've closed the client, what we will need to do is then obviously invoice that client or a Stripe link, okay? I don't think you should be doing Stripe links on the call. I know a lot of people say get people to pay on the call. Don't worry about that. Just invoice the client. There are invoice templates on Canva. Again, nice and easy. You can keep the reputability of your business by looking professional. When it comes to the closing, guys, all you need to do is reflect your pricing based on your experience, okay? Based on the value that you're going to provide. If you're unsure, start with £500. Nice and easy, okay? £500 charged to the client, and then scale the ad spend accordingly. Tell them that they will need between 300 and 500, but you'll scale dependent on results, okay? So that's £500 we've made there. We invoice the client, and then we look at customer success and retention. So when it comes to customer success, guys, obviously the client is going to want results, okay? If we don't get results, we still can keep this client. And the way that we do that is by communication, okay? Do not be afraid to tell your client that you are A/B testing to get results and show them everything you're doing on a daily basis. You'll be surprised that a lot of clients are actually happy with a lot of people that don't get results because they're actively trying for their business. So don't let that ever be a blocker for you. If you're stopping to get results, make sure obviously you're trying your hardest, but communicate. Communicate with the client effectively and you will be okay. So guys, that just should give you a great indication as to what I would do. Obviously, it's a basic overview. If you want more information, check out our school community, but at least that will give you some direction so you can walk away from this video and start your agency tomorrow.